Have you ever looked around at your life, the job, the paycheck, the title, and thought to yourself, I should feel happier than this? I mean, on paper, everything looks good, but inside, you feel stuck, almost like you're trapped. My friend, that is what we call the rat race. And sometimes it comes dressed up in something even shinier, the golden handcuffs. Hey, friends, welcome back to Align for Well, the podcast where peace, purpose, and prosperity all flow together. I'm your host, Tay Donna Nagel, personal finance coach and founder of Legendary Wealth Builders. Each week, I'll share strategies and soul level shifts to help you align your money with your life so you can build wealth without the burden. And today, I want to talk to you about something we don't always say out loud: why success doesn't always feel successful. Why sometimes the very things that look like achievement on the outside can sometimes feel like captivity on the inside. What's tricky about success is it often looks good on the outside. It looks great to everyone else. It's the steady paycheck, the health benefits, the title that makes your family proud. From the outside looking in, it seems like you've made it. You're living the dream. But on the inside, the dream can start to feel like a nightmare. And truthfully, part of you may even feel guilty for wanting more or wanting something different, as if somehow wanting more makes you ungrateful for what you have. Because let's face it, you probably already have what so many people are striving for. How dare you want more? But here's the part no one talks about. Sometimes the very things that look like a success are the same things that keep you stuck. You're craving freedom, but you feel like you can't walk away because the comfort, the perks, the stability, the benefit, the paycheck, they've got you in a stronghold. And that's why we called it the golden handcuffs. And I know them all too well because I once wore those golden handcuffs myself. As someone who worked 15 years in corporate America, I checked all the boxes. I had the great career, the high income, the benefits, all the benefits, the FSA, HSA, all the A's, and even a vested retirement plan. All the things people say we're supposed to have. But on the inside, I was actually miserable and I was burned out. And here's what I learned the hard way: success without peace and fulfillment isn't worth it. For me, that breaking point came in 2017 after having my second child. I was heading back to work after 12 weeks of maternity leave, still healing, still adjusting. But I had to go back into the office, right? Because we need a salary to take care of these children. I need to make sure that I head back into the office to keep my job. So push myself and push myself back into overachievement to stay relevant, of course. Back to working long hours. Back to facing the microaggressions at work. Back to dealing with bosses who cared more about production than of people, of course. I was literally running in between meetings, pumping so my infant would have milk at daycare. Then I'm rushing after work to pick up my kids from school and from daycare on time because you know how those late fees can start adding up. All the while to get back home, to make dinner, put my kids down, and then plug right back into the laptop so I can get ahead of my work or just stay on top of things. And even though I was managing it on the outside, on the inside, it was literally crushing. I don't know if any of you can relate. Maybe for you, it's not pumping in between meetings. But maybe it's that Sunday night dread that hits you knowing you have to return back to work on Monday morning. Oh, back to this place with these people. Or maybe it's holding back parts of yourself at the office because you don't feel safe to even show up as your real authentic self. Maybe you're living for the weekend to escape the dreadful 5-day workday. Those are all golden handcuffs too. But fortunately, in 2018, I had the courage and the resources to break free from corporate America. I was able to drop out of corporate America and drop into fulfillment alignment. But that season taught me something. It taught me a lesson that I will never forget. And that is financial freedom without fulfillment is not freedom at all. Because the truth is, golden handcuffs, they may keep you comfortable. They may also keep you safe, but they'll keep you confined. I mean, it doesn't matter how pretty or shiny or beautiful they are, they're still handcuffs. And there's a cost associated with shrinking yourself and staying stuck. And the longer you stay in that place, the higher the cost becomes. You sacrifice your peace, you sacrifice your health, you sacrifice your dreams. And the worst of all, you sacrifice yourself. And if it costs you your peace, your health, your dreams, and yourself, then the cost is too high. Have you ever noticed that we often normalize or even romanticize our situation? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about positive thinking and being optimistic. All about it. Most people come to me because they need some words of optimism, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you get so used to surviving the way that you have been that thriving starts to feel unrealistic or unattainable, or maybe even selfish of you. But that's a lie. And we've got to unlearn that. We have to break that. Because here's the thing, when you're stuck in that cycle long enough, it can trick you into believing that this is just how life has to be. This is just the way it is. That exhaustion is normal. That anxiety is just part of the process. That burnout comes with the territory. That someday, maybe after your next promotion, next job, or better yet, when you retire, you'll finally get to breathe. But let me tell you, you don't have to wait for someday. You don't have to be waiting to excel. You can have success without success having you in a chokehold. Trust me. Because the truth is, real success isn't found in your title or your paycheck or your pension. It's found in alignment. Alignment with your values, alignment with your purpose, alignment with the life that you actually desire to live. True wealth is when peace, purpose, and prosperity, they all come together. And that's available to you, friend, not just later, but it's available to you now. And I had to learn that the hard way. But once I did, it literally changed everything. Now, each week, we do something that's called your align move for the week. Now it's time for your align move of the week, which is a simple, powerful action you can take to bring your money, mindset, life into deeper alignment. Because listening is good, listening is great, but alignment happens when you take action. You got to do the work. Here's your align move for the week. Take some quiet time and ask yourself this question. Better yet, pause. Get a pen and paper, get a notebook, And I want you to write this down. Where in my life am I settling for comfort instead of freedom? Write down your answers. Don't rush it. Don't police it. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. And then I want you to ask yourself the second question. What are my golden handcuffs? Those things that look good on the outside, but they keep you stuck. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's even your relationship. Maybe it's even a paycheck that feels too risky to walk away from. Maybe it's your health benefit. Whatever it may be, write it down because naming it loosens the grip that it has. Now, once you write down the answers to these two questions, think about what are you willing to do about it? What are you willing to do to get yourself unstuck? Because you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to wait until someday to be free. This is the season for you to break free of the rat race and step into aligned abundance. Remember, friend, golden handcuffs may look shiny, they may look pretty, but they'll never compare to the freedom of living in alignment. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Align for Well. I hope today's episode gave you the clarity, confidence, and courage to align your money with the life you truly desire. If this episode spoke to you, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with a friend who needs this reminder today. For more tools, resources, and ways to connect with me, head to the show notes or visit legendarywealthbuilders.com. Remember, true wealth isn't about what you have. It's about who you become. So stay aligned, stay wealthy, and I'll see you next time.